In a quiet little town in Belgium, the epic battle for honor and glory is about to unfold. Zemst is once again the heart of Europe's biggest curling league. With 29 teams from 8 mighty nations, the competition is heating up on the coldest surface known to man. The stage is set for a historical new chapter. Watch the epic unfolding of the new season. Will the reigning champion dominate the series? Or will N19 rise up and revive old glory? Are the Tigers the dangerous outsiders? Or could it be the desperate housekeepers? We welcome hard sweeping power from the east, dazzling charm from the north, strategic battle plans from the south, and nerves of steel from the west. We're going to see devastating duck duels and rock-solid wisdom from Stone Good. We may not have Canada's heroic Homan, Matt's badass Stars and Stripes, or a Swedish Viking princess like Anna. But our league forges its own legends. Meet the magician, Peekaboo Caro, the little general, Gatling Gun Tom, the GOAT, Mustache Man, and don't forget the Walter. We'll express our uncensored opinion, celebrate only the very best of shots, and seduce you with our sweet voices. Because that is what we do. We simply love curling, and we are devoted to bring this exciting, roaring game out into the world.
What a play!
Good evening, curling fans. Welcome into Curdia for another night of curling. We are excited to bring you some Belgian Curling League. Couple of new teams to the stream this evening. Team Gillard, I'm hoping I'm saying that right. They're from England, although they have a French-sounding name, unless it's Gillard.
Yeah,
but,
it could be Gillard. I have been pronouncing them as Gillard so far, but I haven't double-checked with the guys.
You're probably more correct. That was one thing we forgot to check. Going against Steensnoepers, which is a Dutch team. We are familiar with the skip from Steensnoepers. Walter Kok, he used to play for Duntschopkes, broke out, formed his own team, joined the league. So, but this is the first time we are seeing them on stream. Looking forward to this matchup tonight. League C. You know, it's the entry-level league in Belgium, but, you know, you get teams. If you want to start playing in Belgium, this is where you got to start, and you can see all sorts of interesting and different styles, I think you could say. You know, there's always different strategies. Some newer teams who are really new to the game, some existing or more experienced players, but forming a new team, so having to start back at the bottom and coming in. I think both of these teams kind of qualify as the newer, lesser experienced teams. Team Gillard, a junior team, honestly. These guys, I mean, one of them came up to here on me when I was talking with them before. Two of them came up. So quite young. I would estimate like 13, 14 years old, maybe 15 or 16 with the older two. But they've been curling for 2 or 3 years. They're really competitive. They really like to play. They like the challenge of it. So really looking forward to seeing them tonight. And then Steensnoepers. Wouter we're familiar with. We've seen him play before, but not as a skip. And we don't know anybody else on his team. So it's going to be a kind of a thumb in the wet thumb in the air, and which way is the wind going to blow tonight to see. But usually these matches turn out to be interesting.
Indeed, I kind of like it. I kind of like to have a kind of level of unpredictability on our side as well. And let's see what League C will do, because normally we tend to kind of pick interesting matches, and interesting matches often tend to be like top B division, A division, the better teams. So we don't often broadcast League C matches. Could be that therefore League C is a bit outside of the spotlight, outside of Curdia's spotlight. But I think we want to acknowledge new teams, especially foreign teams here playing in the BCL and Curdia. So teams coming in playing the league. We have Haricada from Spain. I think we haven't had them on stream so far.
Yes, we did early in the season. Yeah, with the first round, one of the first rounds of this round, first match weekends of this round.
True.
So yes, very early on. So it has been a while, but they're in here this weekend. But we are unfortunately not able to stream them. But they are kind of rolling in Group C, and if we want to kind of just segue into the League C standings, there you see it. 6 matches played, 6 wins for Harikata. I think they have one more. Then they head back to Spain tomorrow, but looking very strong to promote to League B next season.
Yeah, I think it would be weird if they're not in League B. Team unbeaten here. There could be 4 teams moving up. It still depends on the amount of teams subscribing to the Belgian Curling League, but each year we have more subscriptions and the league is growing and growing and growing, which means if the B division is kind of fully stacked, then Harikata will move up to B along with some other very strong teams. B is getting stronger and therefore A is getting stronger, and the top of the pyramid here at the BCL is becoming a pretty decent league, and for a lot of teams a nice league to gain first experience, like an in-between level between a Bonspiel and maybe a WCT type of tournament. Then BCL fits right in there as a recurrence type of league with good organization. That's something I heard from the teams as feedback. The Dirk and the BCA makes great efforts to make the calendar work each year and draft all of the teams and divisions and all of that. It's I'm happy I don't have to follow up on 30 plus teams.
I am 100%. We have 32 teams this year, and the rumor is next season that there might be 2 C divisions. They might have enough teams to fill up that, so that would be anywhere up to 40 teams. This sounds like a scheduling nightmare. So let Dirk handle that. We'll just kind of look pretty and call the matches, and that's what we're good at. So lots of interesting. We look at this League C table. We've talked about Harikata. They are undefeated. Rouen, 1 loss. I believe that was to Harikata. So it's, they're a strong team. And then now you get to the other teams that haven't played as many matches. So they still have some points in hand. But I think it's going to be very difficult for any one of these groups to really overtake this. Steensnoepers, 3 points from 3 matches. Wipe My Ass, 3 points from 5 matches. So Wipe My Ass is probably going to fall down the table based on this setup. But, I think, do we want to jump to the booth? We can jump.
I don't know, because we're close to looking at the first end getting started.
Okay.
So I wanted to kind of
started later.
Oh,
okay, sorry. I was looking at the wrong screen. I thought they were still doing LSDs, but nope, they have already finished that. I guess we'll get into predictions. We see the numbers above our head. Those of you who are unfamiliar, Pim and I pick the winner of every match. We try to guess. We encourage you guys to as well. We have the poll up in the chat. As Pim won yesterday's prediction, I get to go first, and this one is really like throw some grass in the air and see which way the wind blows. I know so little about both of these teams, but I'm going to take a chance on the youth of tomorrow. I'm going to pick Team Gillard. They are Gillard. I'll get it right one time. We'll take those guys, and let's hope youth prevails over wisdom.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see. Same for me. It was kind of a 50-50. John and I talked about this before the game, like, who are you going to pick? John kept his cards very close to his chest, not revealing a thing. But in these kind of 50-50 matches where I don't have, let's say, a ton of arguments to pick one team, I tend to follow the one rule, and that's counter-picking John and see if I can prove John wrong and reclaim the lead here in our poll. So I think that's the best strategy for me to do, and also the most fun strategy.
Yep.
If you're out there watching, we have our poll here on YouTube running. Make sure you leave your vote in there and chat along. We have an eye on chat, so if you have comments, if you have your opinion on the game, the people, or us, don't hesitate to share all of that wisdom and knowledge. And things are more fun when we have an audience tuning
Fun
in.
facts are also appreciated. Tell me when I've done something wrong or said something wrong, because I do that a lot. But if nobody tells me, I think I'm right. So feel free to post that up. We will jump on over out to the ice and figure out how many stones in they're in. So
seems like team. Want to a little bit of a count. They did not update the hammer, so that's an unknown to us so far. But either way,
looks like Gillard is throwing their third stone, so they have the hammer. So let's get this scoreboard updated quickly, and then we will. Well, then I will feed everybody information. So that was the third stone from Team Gillard. Oops, sorry, we're on the... That one, okay.
Ja, nee, alles.
Sweepers working to get this one down. It's going to be a little bit on the light side. I think they were trying to go for a takeout there.
I don't pick up sounds from the skip so far. See how that progresses during the game.
This one coming in. I checked the microphones. I might have to go run out there and check again to make sure they're not muted. That has just happened from time to time. Things get kind of swapped.
Fortunately, Team Gillard didn't sweep to kind of find that little kiss on the redstone and stick around. But either way, they are sitting really good so far.
Oh.
Looking for the takeout here, trying to get this one through. Gonna curl over a little bit, gets around. I don't know if that's gonna catch enough of that red. Yep, there it goes. Gonna catch it a little bit and chips underneath.
Oh, this works pretty nice. A little bit of a Swedish curl there, maybe.
Nice one there. Yep, keeps it under the guard. Happy with that one. Kind of keeps things a little bit clear for Gillard in the middle, though. And you know what? I just realized I have the colors wrong. Ah, yes, something. Scoreboard's is acting up. We had a problem earlier today or yesterday, and I thought I fixed it. We'll take care of that in a moment. Team Gillard is red. Sweepers working this one, trying to get it down. They want to get this one past the guard, get it in behind. Cover sitting better right there on the pin.
Oh, nice. I'm buried
good
behind the guard there.
Yeah, good stone there. Peeks out a little bit, but that yellow guard there is going to cause some problems for Steensnoepers.
They can follow up with kind of a similar stone here, but Team Gillard's putting pressure here on the Dutchies. Semi-confusing having two teams playing in blue jerseys here.
Yeah. Well, it's less confusing than in Canada when they had the yellow teams with yellow jackets playing red stones and red jackets playing yellow stones. Yeah. So at least we don't have that confusion. But yes, it would be nice if the teams were wearing different colors. So at least we can tell who's on which team. But the good
Oh,
thing
good
is
curler,
curling
good
is not
curler,
a
good curler.
direct
Good curler.
competitive
Good
sport,
next.
so referees don't need to do
Good
something.
next.
This one, unfortunately, a little bit wide, going to flash by. Opportunity here
Dus,
for Gillard to do something.
ja.
Yeah, and I felt some disappointment here on
Ja.
Wouter Kok's facial expressions, because now all of a sudden Team Gillard, they really have a big chance at closing things up.
Ja, maar kan ook.
That Yellowstone sitting in the forefoot, though, causing some problems. That could be...
Yeah.
That is kind of right now preventing Gillard from scoring a lot, or scoring multiples, but...
Gillard
Yeah.
having the hammer, so they have that.
They have
going.
that option to move it. It is a little bit buried, but I think they're going to want to try to get something in there first.
Feels a bit light, might catch the guard there.
This one is working. Are they going to get this one through?
Small tap on the guards.
Oh, catch
Has it.
over.
Punt op punt.
Well, unfortunate miss there. Gives a little bit of breathing room to Steensnoepers.
Oh. Ja, ja, hoef je het echt weg. Die moet weg. Ja.
Walter looking at his options.
As we broadcast this game, we have a 3-sheeter here at Curling Club Zem. So 2 other matches going on sheet A. We have a League B match, Kick Curl against Sweet Child of Mine. And then on sheet C, we also have a League B. I think it's from the other group. No, it's the same group.
Ja.
It's Beglading against Detroit Napoca.
Yep.
So Detroit Napoca, the team from Romania, we will be having them on tomorrow night against another Dutch team, the Steensnoepers. That should be an exciting matchup. Both teams very strong.
Quite some pace on this one. Sweepers need to step up to keep up with the stone. And it can
Sliding through just a bit heavy there. Didn't get the line or get any curl over on that one. So
are they looking at a hackway takeout on yellow? Because if they do so, they might sit 4 or 5, depending on if
the top. Yeah, that one at the top is biting, so
Yeah.
that could be. And if the shooter holds, that is a possibility.
Yeah.
So
I would come through the center one more time, because then, yeah, Steensnoepers is kind of out of good options here. As long as the middle is open, Steensnoeper they have a fair chance of stealing here. But if they guard up the middle, then they have let's say, kind of
they
free
could take a
option
chance
for a
at
big
it.
bonus.
Yeah, they could take a chance at it. Yeah, no need to go at it now, but wait for your last stone. Get this one covered up.
Yep.
Seeing some votes rolling in. Steensnoepers, the early favorites over Team Gillard. Don't forget to vote. And while you're voting, don't forget to click the like button. That really helps us a lot. Pushes us out to the algorithm and gets us more eyes on the stream. Ben's first stone of the match. I like to see the communication all the way down the ice from the guys. They're really calling this out, pointing things out.
A bit on the heavy side, but
it's going to
good
chip
work
off that their own red.
Excellent
Taps it a
chip.
little bit forward, and yeah, sets up a guard. So
excellent chip here. Leaves maybe double if Steensnoepers is able to just do like a nose hit takeout, but I think it's there's also a chance that they might chip away their Yellowstone, and if that would happen, then all of a sudden they could be into trouble in the first end. But they're looking at it. They're looking at the right angle here.
yeah, a straight nose hit.
Misschien hebben we deze net.
Straight nose is not good enough.
No, that's actually going to cause that red to go away.
So they have to hit it.
Or the red to hit onto their yellow. So they kind of have to hit in with a little bit of an angle to almost come over the top of that red sitting on the button.
You know what I'm thinking at this point? Why not just allow
Andersom.
Team Gillard to only
Yeah.
score one if possible.
Yeah,
you have a very
that's-
good Yellowstone there. If they score one on their hammer, given the setup right now, it's I think it's a very
Yeah.
acceptable result here. And then
Yeah, I
Get the
think
hammer.
it's
Yeah.
not a bad decision.
Ja.
just if you make a
that's
mistake
anything-
here, chances are you shoot yourself in the foot, and all of a sudden you give your opponent an opportunity to score 4 or 5,
Ja,
and that
iets
would
meer nog.
immediately
Ja,
put the game in a huge favor
hem
for
er
one team,
voorleggen,
and you'll have to
bijleggen.
chase a lot of points.
dat ze maar 1 punt kunnen scoren. Niet meer.
We're
Yeah,
not
so
going for a takeout. That makes sense. I think they're just guarding up that hackway takeout on their Yellowstone, and I can understand that choice, to be honest.
Yeah, I think that's a smart decision from Walter. Looking at scoring is going to be difficult. Running that back is going to cause them some problems. Maybe take their own stone out. So this is probably the best way. Do some damage control early on.
Feels a bit
This
heavy.
is coming into the house.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is going to be heavy. They don't want this to hit on their own. This should be. Fortunately, it's going to take away the takeout one way or the other. It takes
Yeah.
it away. So
Yeah, it helps. I mean, the hackway takeout now is gone, but then if you shoot something in the middle, you can get rid of yellow, and that's what they're looking at. This is, I think, this is the shot they should always try here.
yeah, I like this one here coming in. Basically, red slightly outside the nose. Hitting this one just out the nose will cause that one to go. This one might stay. Shooter stays. That one's going to be, that could count 4 or 5, maybe even 6.
Exactly what they are looking at. They are gonna try it. I like the call, and I think if you're Steensnoepers, this house looks a bit scary.
Yep.
Look at all of the stones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and maybe a 6th one. Opening with a 6-0 would be huge.
Huge, yeah. Worst case scenario for Gillard is if they're too far outside and they somehow manage to chip their own away that one off the button. But more
it's
than
very
likely,
hard, yeah, to
more
do
than
that.
likely they would be on the inside and just push it between, and they'd only score 1.
One of those low risk, extremely high reward options that is not that difficult to execute, so that's a no-brainer. Try it.
Are you trying to jinx my boys here?
Yeah,
He's-
I'm calling it out. And they're looking looking back through the window to have a second peek at the house, because we have the stream here in the canteen.
Stream is up. There's about a 5-second delay. It gives them a little bit of a look at it.
Okay.
Getting the sweep. Yep, that's going to be pretty good. Gets 1 yellow moving.
And I think it's
So
two
that's
reds.
at least 2. Yeah, it looks like that yellow is a little bit better than that red over there. So I think that's 2, but a good start from Gillard.
Yeah, definitely. Could have been way worse here. I think if you're Steensnoepers, you feel a sense of relief after this one. It's just 2.
That could have been, yeah, something diabolical. That could have been a diabolical end for them. All right, so
Do we want to do a double check with the mics now
Yep.
that they're on our side of the...
yeah, I will
canteen.
go and check that to see what I can figure out. Him will take over for me.
Coming into the house behind the line here. But as Team Gillard has the score lead, I think it makes sense to put one in the house and then put a guard in front of it. This one looks a bit heavy. No sweeping at all, and we remember from last games this is also a pretty straight side, and this stone is going to just fly through the house. As John in the background is making sure the battery packs are being fixed. So hopefully we have a beautiful skip voice here on the stream.
There we go. I don't know. They were both unmuted, so
Yeah.
we're going to have to check some things. Maybe another tech. It wouldn't be a courteous stream if it wasn't a technical issue. Both of those are on. We'll sort it out. Maar jullie hebben de steenkleuren ook verkeerd ontstaan. Yeah, the scoreboard wasn't updating. Now it's all correct. So there was a little bit of an issue. I've been updating things, so of course whenever I update things break.
Yeah.
Let's see what our setup is. Two reds thrown, one in the house, one high guard, one yellow through, and yellow corner guard. So Fred here being tasked to draw this one in behind their guard, seeming like it's hanging out a little bit wide, a little bit on the heavier side. Yeah, that one's going to go through. Walter's going to try to sweep this one as deep as he can. Gets a little bit of a chip. That'll actually hold it into the house.
So we have Bart Klomp in chat, obviously rooting for fellow club members from Curling Club Tilburg.
And former teammate, yes.
Yep.
Walter used to play with Bart.
Yep.
Bart, we'll be seeing him tomorrow night on the broadcast playing against Detroit Napoca from Romania. And I'm going to ask them how to pronounce it, and it's probably going to sound completely different than the way I've been saying it. I'm fully expecting them to say, no, it's not Detroit, it's Detroit or something. This one needs to curl over to get away from that red guard. It's not, unfortunately. It's going to chip, roll things over. We're looking to see if that was on the center line, but their 5 stones already been played, so not a relevant rule. Does keep things wide open there.
Speaking about Bart Klomp, I wonder if he finished his homework, because on Thursday we were recording the game Arctic Foxes, the Belgian national women's team, the new women's team playing against Sweep Chaldamine. And we got a request from the women's team to record that match because they have recruited a Dutchie to be their coach to join the team at the Euros in Östersund next month. And one of the first assignments is to do a full in-depth analysis and deliver the report on the desk by Monday morning, 8 o'clock.
That's a nice setup there. Gets into the house, but covering over the one in the back. Possible double there, but I think there's a bit of a gap that's going to make Wowzer to say, let's try to roll this over, try to get the shooter and keep things open in the middle.
Hier, dan hier. Backline. What? Ja, 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 ja. Moet een take-out zijn.
This one needing to curl over.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
doesn't have much weight on it.
Ja, hou maar.
Should have been a
Oh,
little
oh.
bit heavier. Oh, look at that. Bart saying he did his homework,
Sure.
did all the stats, and had extended talks with Kim. I think every talk is an extended talk with Kim.
I had the exact same joke in my head when he was mentioning extended talks. There is no such thing as a brief talk.
No, no.
If you're catching with Kim here at the club.
When I spoke with the team, with Team Gillard before the match, Archie, without prompting, already has brought excuses. He said that he has injured his ankle during rugby, so if he plays bad, that is the reason. So he was getting out in front of the excuses. We love to see that. That's always I do that on the golf course, so it's. Oh, I'm old. My back, my shoulder, everything. I stood up too fast. I sat down too quick. Not a lot of options for Wouter here.
No,
There still is a bit of a he's pointing at this little overhead or hit on the yellow, run it back onto the reds and see what happens. Gonna need some weight behind this though.
Hoeft niet super hard, hè?
Quite a few stones to move. Because I don't think it's good enough just to get one out of there. You want to have it. You want to have stones moved. So you're looking at this. Oh,
that was
a bit of a right turn at Albuquerque
Oh,
there, or left turn
helemaal
at
niks.
Albuquerque. Jumps out a little bit.
Nee, helemaal niks.
Is this one going to fall over enough? No, I think it's got the weight behind it, but its angle is just going to kind of tick it through. Shooter rolls off.
Yeah, this does not help him here.
No, it even sits in an awkward position that it doesn't allow them to do any kind of run back. It's actually preventing that top red from being run back. So it's going to be coaching tomorrow as well, so you're going to be coming in to watch the match, give them the pointers, give them do the curlet here live, and then play your match tomorrow evening. Good to see you tomorrow then. Looking forward to it.
I wonder if Bart Klomp, if he consulted Esther Romein at some point when he was offered the position as a coach for the Belgian national women's team. One of the former coaches was Dutch curler Esther Romein at some point. And last year it was Dirk, the mustache man. Yeah, the setup of the team has changed a lot over the last 2 years.
Yeah, it's a completely different team, I think, or different teams. Yeah. Although they did bring back Danielle. She was originally with the Blue Huskies, left to join and be the fifth or sixth member of the Grey Ducks. But she has decided she wants to play back with the women's team. So
yeah, and same goes for Mirte. She was with the national team in Kaunas.
Yep.
Back in the C division when the Belgium national women's team won the gold medal, but I don't know the year by heart. I think it was
2022.
22, yeah.
I don't know that by heart, but there's a photo up on the wall, and I saw the date first.
Yeah. I was looking back to find the date on the wall.
Hij komt naar binnen. Hoe hard is die?
So yeah, Bart,
Hard, hè?
you're going to the Euro C divisions, where 3 out of the 5 players already have won a golden medal in that league. So I think that kind of sets the bar, or am I over exaggerating here?
Maybe a little. This one comes in, catches a little bit on the side, but doesn't get enough to roll it out. So still a strong house here for Gillard, but they don't have really a way to get rid of that yellow. Well, actually, they kind of do, but it's going to expose some things in the middle, so... And setting things up. Looks like they're going to try to run this back on the red, get the yellow moving. Oh, no, looks like they've changed their mind. Going for a draw here. Sweepers like the weight, not really, still a little bit of cleaning. Now starting to put some pressure into those brooms. Trying to drag this one as deep as they can, wanting it to curl over, block up that center, really kind of protect that one. And nicely done. Good communication the whole way down from the boys.
Ja.
You can see Wouter Kok, he adds 1 wrinkle to his head after each stone, trying to figure out a battle plan here.
Yeah, there's not really a way. Those 2 high red guards, right here, kind of making it impossible to use this yellow to kind of come in. So kind of going to have to go into this like damage control mode, maybe hit something. Looks like that's what they're going to do. Maybe try to come in here, hit that, and clean these away. But I think this stone are going to end up jamming against their own yellow. So not a high percentage shot here, but they don't have many options. So
Ja.
Somebody here in the canteen went to the fruit shop, and it's making me hungry.
Dirk was eating fries earlier.
And I know the Glasgow Rangers guys were going to go over or went over there. I don't know if they came back with it or if they ate it there. But yeah, it's not fair.
Kijk of we dan zo meteen nog een tikje naar binnen kunnen krijgen.
Still a bit of confusion. Did they just change the plan there? You can see.
I think they might be. Yeah, it looks like they might be trying with the draw in here, try to see, thinking they can get it around. This one is outside. That's going to crash on the yellow. But is it going to push anything in? Nope. Catches it on the side. Not really anything of consequence there. Doesn't quite, doesn't move anything into play. It doesn't move anything out of play, really. Or doesn't change the setup as it is now.
It's going to be hard for the Steensnoepers to even win this end here. It's still possible. I think there is still room enough to get into the forefoot there over on the left side, but things will close up soon. You're down to the last 2 stones here for both teams.
Slight adjustment there as the earthquake strikes.
Bart was saying, referring to that comment about Esther, he He was not in touch with Esther, but Esther was his first coach, so the apprentice is now the master.
This one curling over. Is it going to curl too much? It
Oh,
does,
interesting.
but they do get a nice little break there, and it does push that yellow out. So
Interesting. Red scatters all over the place, and I'm counting 1, 2, 3 for red.
Deze eruit.
going to go over the top, and we can
Dan
see it is indeed 3.
2.
There is an opening to the
Deze
button,
eruit.
so
Yeah, I think if
they
you're
can draw.
Ja.
basically
als we die
accepting
eruit halen,
that this was not your best end, and this is
dit doen we niet.
looks to me
gaan.
like a draw for 1. I think taking a big risk here could hurt them. I mean, they have to draw against 3.
Yeah,
Watch
their
it,
best
yeah.
bet, and because those two other the second and third red are sitting out of the edge of the 8-foot.
Ja.
You know, even if they don't get it inside and score, they would hopefully take
Yeah.
away those 2 points. And you know, you never want to give up you never want to give up a steal, but giving up a multi-point steal is even harder. So
Je bent lengte niet gedaan.
It's not an easy draw because that yellow corner guard is kind of annoying there, and they
yeah, they
need to-
kind of have to get out close to it.
yeah. So it needs to find the 4-foot at least. It's crashing into the yellow guard. That's something they really would not want to see happen, and it happened in his previous stone where he was a bit too wide.
This one line feels fine, not too wide,
Gaan we
but it
curlen.
feels a little on the heavy
Op de
side.
rode.
But ticking off the red might actually keep it in a little bit. So gets a tap, and
Oh,
it's
beautiful.
Swedish curl back in to take the
Excellent.
points. There you go.
Yeah.
That is
Jij bent fijn.
something for
Yeah, what an excellent attempt. And to be honest, I think that was maybe the thing they were going for, finding that tap. Maybe they were doubting whether the draw would work, find enough curl, because it had some pace, I think, for a draw weight. It felt heavy for a draw.
yep.
Also, the broom could have aimed at that
Kom maar, ja.
that option. I think they were pointing at trying to tap that specific redstone. So if that was indeed the case, then it for sure deserves a highlight reel moment. Maybe a shot of the match candidate, but definitely a stone where Bart built out his team, and he could be proud of that. Because just imagine having this one fly through or crash on the corner guard or whatever, and then having to allow a steal of 3, chasing 5 points after 2 ends. That would have been a total different situation.
Absolutely. And it was Walter, not Bart, because we've been talking to
Uh,
Bart in the chat. So yeah, I get
yeah,
it. I understand. There we go. Suzette starting things off here in end number 3 for Steensnoepers. Scoring 1 in the second. They trail Team Gillard 2-1.
Alles best. Nee.
This one is a bit on the heavier side, going to come into the house. It looks like it's going to end up right about the top of the 4-foot, maybe onto the button.
Ja.
Gets onto the button.
Dan is hij eruit.
Just
So
draw on it.
now it's a choice of what does Team Gillard do? What do the Reds do with this one? Do they want to get on top? They certainly don't want to put a guard out there in front of it. Red and
Line's
Archie
good,
trying
line's
to
good,
bring
line's good.
this one down. They'd like
Whoa.
that freeze.
Just down it. Freeze. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Not
whoa,
an
whoa.
easy shot throwing a freeze.
One of
Gotta
the
have
hardest.
just type and
Nice.
fantastic. That is worthy of the F word. Fantastic. First time tonight, second time tonight. But that is a great shot. Well done. spoke briefly with Suzette before the match as well, and first off, she asked me why I was speaking English. And I thought it mentioned on the broadcast, so I talked to explain why we're worldwide, or we try to reach a global audience. And she said, "No, why are you speaking English right now?" She's like, "Oh, I'm American." So apparently, I speak English with an accent to some people. But yeah, I also, it's like I do speak Dutch. She's like, the Netherlands, we come to Belgium, we should be able to speak Dutch. It's like, yes, you can, but I'm in broadcast mode, so it was amusing. She turned a little red. I said, "Don't worry about it." Roy with his second stone of the end. Gonna try to bring this one down on top. Maybe a little tap back. That's got some weight. We're gonna get a little bit of a tick and move the yellow back. Red is in the shot, but now there is a little bit of an opening there.
I had a quick peek over on Chile. We're in the second, and Kek Keulen scored 4, so they're leading 5-0 against Sweep Childemine.
In the same vein, Detroit Apoca scored 3 in the second as well, so they lead it also 5-0 over Begleding. So early blowouts, question mark, going on in the other sheets. Right now, we've got a nice tight one going on here.
Guess
A little
we
bit of
picked
back
right
and
game.
forth. Yep.
Maybe find a nice roll there.
Trying to get that little bit of a chip that will roll over behind the red.
Yeah? Just sit on it.
I think Steensnoepers, they are going to have to play their best game if they want to defeat Team Gillard here
wide.
tonight. I think Gillard is leaving a pretty strong impression on me too.
Yeah, really composed, playing very well. Not trying to do anything too crazy, but just throwing their stones and doing that quite well.
Never mind. We could have got that, but...
And as I say that, this one's a little bit heavy. Does tap on their own, but is sitting third shot. Walter looking at his options here, saying, okay, we're going to put something up in the middle. They don't have the hammer. They want to keep this middle clogged up. So, not a bad decision here by Walter.
Sweeping slightly next to the stone at some point, and now we have Walter running in to get this across the hog line, get this as deep as possible.
Sure, this one ends up on a good line. There it goes. Gets down to about midway down. Nicely covers up those two. I like that. We love to see skip sweeping. So, although Walter, a new skip, formerly a sweeper, he should know what to do out there.
Do you want it?
And I'm looking a quick peek at the polls. Gillard coming back, starting to gain a few percentage points, but Steensnoepers still the crowd favorite. Get your votes in. Show your support for your team.
All the way. Hi, Archie.
Or feed your gambling addiction. We're no judge here. Nice run back here. Gets rid of one of those yellows. Unfortunately, it jams on the other red, but gets things moving around, gets things out of there. I like that shot. There is sort of an opening, but how much of it is in there is going to get there. Yeah, I like Walter looking to just try to play maybe back weight, get rid of that red, leave something underneath. Although I will say I would prefer to come from the other side, especially if he's throwing backline weights. This is going to curl a little bit more than I think he thinks, and they don't want to get it on the outside, on the right side of the nose of the red. That could end up jamming on their yellow in the back and cause some problems. So
This was pushed a bit inside, maybe.
yeah, that's going to start to go. Will get past the guard. Is that going to be able to hold onto the inside part of the red? Nope, that's going to over curl. Want to let it go even more so it doesn't get too much on the yellow. And fortunately taps it right over on top. So
yeah, redstone sitting pretty strong there. Locked in. But, Gillard will look to score more than one, I suppose.
Yeah, top 4.
yeah, they've got a good setup for it. That yellow sitting behind the red, behind the T line, never going to get any better. So options here for Gillard to do some things. Archie on his wobbly ankle coming out with his first stone here at the third end.
Line's good.
No wobbles
Line's really
present
good.
on that sliding.
Line's really
Need
nice.
to bring this one down a little bit wide. Pleading for it to move over. Now trying to sweep to see if they can carry it deeper. Comes up a little bit light, but is in a strong position. I like that. Kind of takes control of that center line. Obviously, as a team with the hammer, you don't want it clogged up, but if it's something's gonna be there, you want it to be your stone.
Mm-hmm.
Walter looking at the long run back. Suzette maybe pleading with some kind of draw, but Walter saying, no. Or maybe. Oh, no. Looking at the draw. Thinks he likes it. Feel like they can get around that red guard there. So, oops. Can get around that red guard, get into a scoring position.
Is it heavy enough? I think it's going to
I'm
die.
not sure. Yeah, sweepers are trying to get it down there, but I think this one just doesn't have the legs, and that is going to end up setting up as another guard in the middle. Which, unfortunately, for Steensnoepers only helps Team Gillard at the moment.
Well, Team
Just
Gillard, they
back
have the
full
hammer,
weight, T.
and they're looking at scoring just
T
one
weight's
so
fine.
far. So, from the argument of making sure Team Gillard doesn't have a hammer efficiency here, that could work. And they're just trying to stick Gillard from scoring 2 or more.
I would like that argument a little bit more if that red wasn't sitting there out in the open that could be tapped back.
Yes.
That would be the only
Whoa.
hole,
Whoa.
major hole in that argument. But
That's true.
this one, and that's exactly what they're trying to do, is
Yes,
just kind of
yes.
bring this back slightly outside the nose, a little bit of a tap
All the way.
onto the button. They've got backing there, and that will leave a guard still covering up that middle. So this one's going to be just a little bit light, though. Had a good line. Unfortunately, coming up just a little bit on the light side. But still a setup. They can still use it. They can still tap it away. So
Yeah, the angles are still there. I mean, they can still do tap, and get yellow out. So the danger is still out there. And is that something to disrupt? Because I mean, yeah, you can tap
It's
in from
not-
both sides here. Wouter kind of pointing at that other red stone. Their yellow stone is under siege. That's
Yes.
for sure the case.
and it's not Dunshrup because they wear the same jackets,
yeah.
same club, but different team.
This is going to be very confusing seeing the Curling Club Tilburg.
Let's just hope like Steensnoepers and Dunshropkas never play against each other because we'll be in trouble.
Yeah.
Ja, maar ik weet die hoek niet. Ja, maar dan
It's
word je hier
just
achter.
wired into my system when I see the blue, white, green Tilburg jerseys there.
Yep, there's Tilburg jackets. It feels like that's Dunshropkas, and then yeah,
Is that
not anymore.
Is it the skyline of Tilburg that's at the bottom of their jerseys? I suppose so.
I would assume so. It'd be kind of weird if it was another another town skyline.
It's an impressive skyline.
Yep.
I didn't know that Tilburg was such a metropole with skyscrapers and
Er
all
is geen
that.
andere optie. De rest is allemaal dicht. Daar kom je ook niet
Well,
omheen.
in the Netherlands, the
Jullie
skyscraper
hebben er
is
geen
3
kijk,
stories tall,
dat
so
zou kunnen. Nee, voor de gele naar binnen. Hard. Ja.
this one not a little bit tight, probably a little bit heavy, so probably fortunate that it ticked off something there, but
Yeah, it takes away maybe the run back over on the left side, and the run back on the right side is also not super easy to make.
Yeah.
So tapping back redstones
Yeah, I've
Is,
still got 2 more, so.
X amount of percentages harder.
yeah, it covers it up a little bit. I think there's enough
And we can
curl
always go for the double
to
on
get
the
this
last
one
shot
back.
for
They
one.
do need to have slightly more than T-line weight, probably at least
Safe shot first.
back 4,
shot
maybe
first,
back
risky shot
8,
second.
just to make sure it gets there. They've got
back.
some, they've got
And
some
then we
backing
have the
behind
double on
it.
the yellows.
They do want to catch this as close to the nose as they possibly can.
Measurement over on sheet C. Apparently.
It's pointless.
Sweeper staying
What am I
off
doing?
it. Seems like it's got enough
is a hitch.
weight, but I think it also might be a little bit heavy, and yeah, that's going to stay outside and miss everything. So,
One of my specials.
missed shot, missed opportunity there for Team Gillard, but honestly,
Yeah.
you don't have
we
a
wel
whole
iets
lot of
af kunnen
options
halen.
if you're
Mochten zij nog graag
Wouter
stenen
and
spelen, zo deed hij-
Steensnoepers.
Still riding on that
Dan ben ik
one
niet blij.
yellow stone to prevent Gillard from scoring big here. It feels like a bit of a deja vu from
Yeah.
the second end.
Gillard sitting, with, when I see on the overhead, at least four stones inside the 8 foot. They're sitting first, third, fourth, and fifth, possibly
nog een
even
keer
sixth.
proberen.
So,
Yeah, I think if yellow goes out, they have a couple of stones, at least
Kijk,
for.
het punt was af kunnen komen.
yeah, I think if
Liggen
you're
één, maar ze kunnen onze
Wouter,
benen-
you're gonna want to just put something.
Ja.
Your best bet is to leave a guard over that red so it doesn't get
Self-made.
run. They can't tap it back and
Yeah.
score more.
Ja,
Final stone
ja,
for
ja.
Steensnoepers.
Ja.
Here in end number 3 underway. Sweepers sweeping in the general direction of the stone, trying to get a go there. Walter comes in to help as well,
Definitely not a guard. By the
Nope.
weight.
and trying to sweep the line, but that means it's going to have too much weight, and that is going to go out the back. So, yeah, that maybe a little bit too
I
aggressive
know.
there, trying to make something happen. Getting a little bit too much weight on it.
Oh,
so
I am.
now
Oh, if I
Gillard
made
just
it,
has
it'd
to
be
make
great.
sure they get some
not
contact
doing
on
it.
this red, move it into the, I want to say, yeah, just fully into the 4 foot is enough.
Yeah. But play,
And that will
We're playing
give
the
them
safer
2
shot.
on their hammer and a
Playing the safe
4 to 1 lead over
yeah. I wanted to play the really flat
over
number
Steensnoepers.
5.
Yeah,
had the
I
shot in your
almost,
head.
yeah, I did. You messed me up. You've broken me.
I
Now I have
felt
to
it.
think about it.
Yeah. I heard the Dutch Hopkins echo bouncing around in your head in,
Right.
in that quiet moment.
It's like, I will not get this wrong. I will
Give me
not
a
get
laugh.
this wrong. Go with Ben's final
Yes!
stone, the hammer here
Ah!
in the third.
Well, I tried.
Feels a little bit on the light side, yes. Archie and Troy
Oh, Troy.
gonna have to go
Yes,
on this
Troy.
one. Sorry, not Archie. Fred and Troy gonna have to go on this one.
Already on the guards. Or
No,
Troy.
gets
Troy.
it by,
Fuck
and now isn't
me.
gonna have enough weight to push it in. Needs to be all the
Oh,
way
wow.
in the 4, and there we go.
I did not expect this to happen. It felt so light.
Yeah.
I feared it would crash onto the guard, but this is an excellent promotion.
And that is 2 for the young lads. So, just like we predicted, they are showing me that youth is better than experience or age, I guess.
That's not a very promising thought for you, John.
No, I'm on my decline. I know that. I've peaked
But
and I am on my downhill swing, but
in curling, you have a second life in the senior circuit. Eh?
absolutely. I mean, you could say I've started this game late in life, so I'm still on my up there, but I know physically every morning it gets harder and harder to move things, so it's not always so easy. Okay, Troy going to be starting things off for Team Gillard here in the 4th as they lead Steensnoepers 4-1. Great final stone from Ben to get that second point.
Wait, it's fine. It's fine, it's fine.
Meanwhile, small peek on
Just
Shire where
We've got
Whoa,
the
whoa.
ticker going
yeah.
right now.
Indeed.
So Sweep Child of Mine trailing Kekkuln 1-5. And Detroit Apoka really running away with
No.
this one, but over Beglading
Go on ahead.
7-0.
There. Yeah.
7-0, that's not going to be an 8-ender. I think
I somehow don't think so. Yeah, when the Romanians are here with the junior boys, they are a seriously tough team. At just about any level, I've watched them play a little bit, and they are extremely difficult to take advantage of. So this one kind of wide. We don't see stones often this far outside of the logo.
Okay.
And
There you go.
that one is unfortunately going to come up short and get hogged. Yeah, you get outside of like the K on the Kingslies logo there, it's ice is the pebble is barely used, so it much slower. And that is often a result.
Line's good. Just 3. Just it.
Going to bring this one down into the center.
Whoa, 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 whoa. No.
Good curling
too
over.
eager. No.
Going to sit just in front of the house.
This is working.
good setup here.
Great stone there from Troy. Exactly what he needed to do. Asked and answered. This one feels tight. Yeah, it's
What?
still the 5 rock rule as well as the no tick rule or the center line rule in place. So if this one moves that red off the center line, they do have the option of taking it out of play. Yeah, they are going to put it back.
Yep.
Yeah, makes sense. We'll do the same.
Yep.
Yep, get rid of
Yeah,
your
yeah,
opponent's stones, get a guard there. So this is a no-brainer.
Yeah, you don't always have to. If you say, well, now I have an extra guard in front of it, or I want to make use of extra guards. You can still accept the new situation, but often teams opt to just put it back, especially if it's nicely guarding up a stone in the house.
Feels a bit on the heavier side. Sweeper staying off it. It's going to curl
Straight, Archie,
over.
straight.
Maybe
Straight.
a little bit
All the
late
way,
on that
all the way.
sweep. Try to get it around, but it's going to tap, so it's going to move that one red,
That's fine.
expose it. Archie trying not to
Yeah,
do
good.
the splits there on the ice. Hit and roll opportunity here. Is there a double there? No, not really, but it
Probeer
could
maar.
allow Steensnoepers to get in
Hieruit,
behind
hieruit.
those two red guards, so take advantage of the opportunity while you've got it.
Ja.
Sweeper's getting on this one. Want to
Yeah.
bring it down.
All the way. Ja, come on. Ja. Dat gaat
Make
goed, dat
sure
gaat
it
goed,
hits
gaat
on the
goed.
inside part of the nose. Looks like that's going to
stukje.
be good. Is it going to have enough weight to roll back towards the middle, though? No, just a
Good.
little bit light. I like the effort. Just needs a little bit more weight. Unfortunately, stays exposed, and so Ben just cuddles up right behind it and says, let's pop this one out.
Whoa. Try. Hard try.
Troy works that one over, gets rid of the yellow. Shooter stays in
Sorry.
the house.
Everyone in fact.
Nicely done. Now there is some room for Steensnoepers to come in behind. I think that's it. Walter is calling that.
Yeah, things are not looking great again for the Steensnoepers here so far. And last stone of the front end, but
Top
so
4 is
far
goed.
all of the stones in the house are red. And Renata trying to shift the tie here. They really want to score 2.
Ja.
Renata trying to draw this
Yeah.
one in. Ooh, this one's
Ja,
tight.
all the way. Ja.
Is that going to get around? I don't think so. That's going to crash on the red.
With this weight, it's
just
just
gonna,
adding
like,
another.
Tap one in. Yeah, that's a 4th red in the house and leaves the shooter there as cover, as a guard. So
What?
not an ideal situation
What do you
there
mean?
for
Okay.
Tilburgians.
Forfeit.
I don't know if that's the correct way of addressing people living in Tilburg.
I don't know.
The Tilburgers.
Tilburger sounds right. And that's what I'm going to call them from now on, whether it is or not.
Whoa. Time's fine.
Sweepers got on this one
Yes, Fred,
early.
Fred,
Didn't
Fred.
like the weight.
All the
Line
way.
seems to be okay, but yeah, they got to make sure
All the
this
way.
one gets down. Light's not going to be too bad if that gets into the house, or even just, well, it's going to tick a little bit, but it does take away this line. They do have 2 sitting in a pretty strong position.
I thought.
I think that's
Putting some
a
weight on the
reasonable
front.
miss there. Yeah, put some more pressure on Steensnoepers to start moving things around.
I think if they have some nose hit weight on that front yellow one, it could make things interesting. Starting to promote their own yellow in, and then they keep their guards,
Yep. Could do some tap through and
reclaim that center line build up. And the thing is, throwing some weight in there, it's not the worst, because everything that opens up the middle is probably helping them out.
Connor bringing some weight on this one. Does
Yeah,
feel
yeah,
heavier than some of his
yeah.
past ones, but is that going to have enough? Yep, stays a bit on the nose of that red, maybe just a little bit wide on the release. So, couple of guards now, yellow guards in the
here's
middle
fine.
there. Gillard going
Nah,
to
just
throw
come
this
in.
one in behind,
Yeah.
saying, let's
Grab
bring
it
it in.
wider.
And I gotta say, like, I'm pretty impressed with Team Gillard, how they're seeing opportunities and they're going straight for it. They're not leaving a lot of shots out there.
Yeah, indeed. I liked their decision making, the way they communicate. I mean, as soon as they release all 3 players, immediately feed skip info, they communicate back and forth. Little things that really help to deliver a stone.
Yep, this one a bit heavier, so outside that's going to just slide through. Well, they're going to try to make sure that goes through, but that was a pretty easy sweep. Archie just a little overzealous on that draw.
Of die. Maar deze moeten wel weg.
Now,
Of je moet erachter kunnen komen.
Steensnoepers do have the option
Yeah.
of tapping it back. Yeah, running their own yellow into it, into the house, leaving a guard up top.
T-line.
It's difficult when you don't have any backing to get that distance and that weight just right, but I think when you're already staring at 2 against, a steal of 2 against, you've gotta try to take this chance.
Yeah. Super important for Steensnoepers to win the end. There's still 4 ends after this one, but to kind of keep that gap small enough to stay in this game is important. Otherwise, you might end up with Team Gillard starting to play the scoreboards.
Ja. Alleen lengte, hoe hard is die? Hoe hard is die?
This is going to tap on that yellow, but it's going to be a little bit inside the nose, so it's going to push it outside.
Oh, and now because of the little roll, the kind of run back yellow on red is not there anymore.
Yep.
That's
unfortunate. That it looked like it's pretty good weight on that one. That I think if they'd gotten it on the nose, that would have been pretty good weight. Might have got them to shot position, or at least in the conversation, but unfortunately, because it goes out, shooter rolls wide, kind of overlaps the other yellow guard there, takes away a run back, and the yellow sitting out there on the edge of the 8 is kind of exposed. And you can't see it, but there's a gap between 2 reds on the side that will allow them to take this out. And possibly roll back to the middle.
Whoa.
Trying to get this one to curl over. Unfortunately, it's going to find the gap and shoot through.
Once again, incredible.
Disappointing for sure, but not a disastrous shot there. Doesn't take anything away, doesn't cause any damage, doesn't give anything to Steensnoepers to work with. So.
Ik kom vanuit die kant van het hek. Die 2 gele liggen echt vol voor. Kijk, gewoon weer zo.
Nothing to worry about there for Team Gillard.
Desnoods. Sorry? Ja, maar ik zie die rode niet. Als ik daar het hek zie, zie ik de rode niet. Die rode gaat niet weg. Die deze. Dus een draw spelen aan deze kant kan ook niet. Door ijs pakken. Ja, hoe wil je dat doen? Deze ligt op de vloer. Dus het enige wat je nog kan doen is deze naar binnen brengen. Of via buiten. Ja. Ja. En gewoon weer zo. Ja. Misschien.
Yeah, you can
Of
see
gewoon
they
heel win.
don't have a straightforward
Yeah.
option here.
Gewoon
Yeah,
echt gewoon hier.
spending some time thinking about it.
Wel
What do
dat
they
klein-
do? I
Yeah.
like the draw option. You know, if you're looking
Yeah.
in over here, drawing in behind that guard. These guards here trying to get there, cover things up. I think that's really their best bet at
Dit soort situaties weet ik gewoon.
at scoring.
Ga gewoon doen. Nee, gewoon naar binnen rollen. Gewoon,
Now he's talking about rolling in. So are they going to play a hit and roll here?
Yeah, apparently so. And needs to have some pace then, because that's not that much ice.
ja, ja,
There's some
Yeah.
weight there. So, but is it enough?
ja, ja,
Feels a little bit on the light side. That might over curl.
ja, ja, alles. Oh,
No, that one, yeah, that one over curled. Just not quite enough weight, so that's going to shoot through.
sorry. Ik riep vegen. Oh. Scoring.
So now Team Gillard looking at the hit and roll here, and honestly, why not? Their best bet is just get rid
We
of
just
it.
want it like here.
Yeah, and even if they're able to just get yellow out,
No,
that works.
we're drawing.
Kind of forcing yellow to draw for one. That's always, I think, a good
Yeah,
plan
like
to execute.
top 12, top 8 guard.
Yeah.
Maybe a bit more. Yeah.
A little bit more. No, I think they're going for a draw here. He was talking about top 8, top 12.
Yep,
Just
that's
take
draw.
away the draw there. I think I would like to see this one top 8
Oh,
a
it
little
really
bit,
is time.
you know, make sure it's third shot.
All the way, boys.
Important this is in front of the tee line to make the draw as hard as possible
way,
for
boys.
the Dutchies.
Whoa, whoa.
Bringing
Leave it,
this
leave it,
in.
Don't want to overcut it.
Don't want it to over curl. Want to make sure it takes anything away. And that is
Nice.
going to stop just a little bit short. Still sitting for shot, but takes away that draw.
Yeah.
Exactly what they intended. Good shot there by Ben.
Yeah, excellent. So the draw is now gone. And what are your options if your team Steensnoepers the hit and roll?
Ja, maar hoe dan?
You can hit and roll on the red one or on the far left one.
Als jij die
It
benen
sounds
neerzet,
dumb, and I'm
the
going to
raar
draw it up
sliding.
because it sounds dumb, is
the
come
raar
in
sliding
from
is-
here on this one, try to tap this and roll it back, run it through to there.
Could you
I-
find a good angle
Yeah.
there? That's
I think so, yeah. I think the angle is there,
we kunnen nog
coming in
via
through
hier
like
naar binnen,
that.
hier te raken.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think I
but
drew
yeah,
my overhead line a little bit too tight, but you only have to get full 4 foot. So,
Hier.
and I think that's
Ja.
kind of their only option. Because, well, they're looking at a different option. It is possible they don't see it. It's a tricky one. It's a very not something you'd even practice.
Yeah, it's super tricky because that's guard is a bit annoying to find a good angle. It could work, could chip off on one of the redstones there, but no easy options here for sure for team Steensnoepers.
This one looks like they're
Yes.
going to come with a heavyweight stone, wanting to hit it on the outside of that red into the 2 reds, counting as shots. And
Nee, de buiten.
oh,
Push it outside, it's already given up
Yeah.
on this one. And is there a lucky plan C in there? Hit or roll? No.
nope. Unfortunately not. So that is going to be a steal of 2 for Team Gillard.
That's a big steal here. And yeah, the Steensnoepers, they'll have to find different plans or execute a bit more if they want to have a chance at winning the game. But so far the scoreboard is reading 6-1 for the young English boys.
The young youngish lads.
The lads.
Boys sounds kind of creepy when you say it like that.
Well, I'm not a native speaker. I'm not a native speaker, so I know a boy is a boy, yeah, and a girl is a girl. It's as simple as that. But
So
we have to say it. Karma for.
I was
for
just
them
going to
to
say
play
it
up.
out. Yes, young Archie putting up the two, keeping the scoreboard up to date. While they swap ends, I don't know if they're going to take a break. Yep, I see them coming in, taking their 5-minute pause. We'll get a quick update from, I believe, the other sheets. I know that sheet C has gone to the next end. Nope, Sweep Child, Labine, and Cullen still in the fourth. Detroit Napoca scoring another one in the fourth and leading 8-0 in the halfway point. We are halfway here. We are going to jump back in and kind of discuss it. And I would just like to remind everybody, if I use the right thing, there it is, what color I picked. See, I'm wearing the red shirt. I think that would have been an obvious sign, but I also had no idea what what colors the teams were
No,
going to be until I actually got here and they made their flip. So, yes, purely lucky that purely coincidence, the red shirt and the red team, but feeling very confident with my pick. Team Gillard. I'm gonna pronounce it a million different ways until they actually tell me what's right or wrong. But they're playing, I think, well above their years, well above their experience, the years curling, their age. They're playing very composed, not trying anything crazy, not looking for these hero shots, forcing a lot of mistakes from Steensnoepers. So they're looking really good.
Could have been a lot worse for Steensnoepers. I remember in the first end they were relieved. It was only a score of 2 instead of a whole lot more. And then the third end,
6.
again, the team from England, they had an option to score a big house. Only just, quote-unquote, score 2. A big relief there for Steensnoepers. But these twos, they kind of stack up. And 6-1, I don't think they're relieved anymore. I think they're still looking at the scoreboard like this is going to be a tough ride. And they will need to come back very strong as of end number 5 to make something out of it. But as you were saying, Team Gillard, I'm impressed. Decision-making, very solid. Execution, solid. Communication, solid. The boys, they just seem to enjoy themselves. There is kind of no sense of stress or whatever. I think they're just propping in this Belgian Curling League, full confidence, and that's the way I like how teams present themselves here on Curdy and here in Belgium. So I have high hopes for the team.
Yeah,
maybe they will see them play against the Belgium Cups at some point. Could be a nice setup.
That would be an interesting international junior competition.
Especially because the Cups always say, well, yeah, we're kind of underperforming, be in League C, but then we have to play against grown-up teams all the time. That gives us a bit of a disadvantage. But then having 2 junior teams in the same age range play against each other, that's a kind of a good benchmark to see how they kind of compare to other juniors out there.
Yep, exactly. And so while we're on our halfway point, we promised Team Steensnoepers that we would show this off, the Curling Club Tilburg Curling Cup in Tilburg, May 11th. The link is in the chat. I'm going to put it in again to make sure you guys have it. So any teams out there looking for a fun spring Bonspiel to play, they have one coming up May 11th. 4 matches, only 1 day. So just a quick pop in and out. Probably don't know much about the format of it. Probably likely to be like 4 or 6 end matches if you're playing 4 matches in a day. Yeah. But sounds like it should be a nice fun day. Late season curling, get a little bit of extra in, see the lovely city of Tilburg while you're at it. Mm-hmm. So, and we love to support any of these local tournaments or any tournaments in general. So, we love to have the teams come and say, hey, can you talk about this? Yes, we can. So
of course. And it's the first edition. So I think the team that is going to win this first edition, you're going to be legends forever in Tilburg and in Dutch curling. So don't miss out on that opportunity to be famous for God knows how long. I mean, if this in 100 years celebrates their 100th Jubilee event, they're probably going to have interviews with your grandchildren talking about how that first edition went.
There can be only one. So we are starting in the 5th. They have already jumped out there. Troy Wait, oops. Why did that not... No, that's correct. Sorry. Yep, I was reading that wrong. Like, why is Steensnoepers have the hammer, but they did not score? So, of course, they have the hammer.
And good
It's
morning.
like it's like it's my first time ever curling.
And we're going to lose an hour of sleep over the night here in Belgium, so
That is one of the reasons why we're not doing any of the early broadcasts tomorrow. That and Pim wants to spend time with his family. Ooh. My wife's 8 months pregnant and I have a 2-year-old. Oh, I need to see them. Suzette bringing this one out to a corner guard. Nicely done. Let's bring the skips back into it.
All the way. All the way.
Wanting to bring this one deep. Definitely wanted to get it over the hog line. Double center
Keep going.
guard isn't terrible.
Keep going. Keep going.
No, encouraging him to keep going. Not really sure. It's just going to make it over curl a bit more. However, still a double center guard there.
Yeah.
Walter coming in through the gap instead of around the
Yeah.
setup there, but
so opting for the corner guard and then ending up not really using the corner guards. It's there for later,
this
just in case.
feels a bit
What?
on the heavy side. I think she
What?
pushed it.
Oh,
Yeah, pushed it a little bit. It's going to over curl. Oh, should have swept that for a chip.
I think with that weight, even the chip would have lost the shooter, I'm afraid.
Yep.
It had quite some pace on it. I think I'd rather leave the corner guard there so it's there to use than chip it away.
Ooh, what looked like a runaway over on
Nice
sheet
foul.
A is actually getting
That
a
is
bit
it.
tighter. Sweet Child of Mine has scored 2, stole 2 in the fourth, so they it's 5-3 for Kekkuln over Sweet Child of Mine, but that looked like it was being a runaway for Kekkuln
That's fine.
early.
Yeah.
Sweet Child of Mine working their way back into it.
Nice fighting spirit there. Sweep Child of Mine
ja, gaan we ook doen.
is playing in the Daddy School jerseys, at least 3/4 of the team.
Yep.
Daddy
They-
School used to be one of the newer teams with great potential, but then fell apart after a promotion in A.
Kind of like the Beatles, very huge success very early, and then they imploded, and they were only around for a few short years,
yeah.
and that is Daddy's Cool. Meteoric
right
rise to the
right
A division, and then egos, drugs, alcohol tore them apart. None of those things are true, by the way.
Do you know where all of the former members ended up? Like a quick quiz.
Mats is playing with Brewers Ducks. Tom is playing with Team Veraken. And the Peters are now playing for Sweep Child of Mine. Hey, finally back on. We're back. We don't know what happened. Internet issues. Seems like it was a YouTube connectivity thing, but
Zacht tikje.
hopefully we didn't miss much, or you guys
Backline?
didn't miss much. Looks like only a stone or two.
But coming back to that cliffhanger, you were trying to recall where the last member of Daddy School.
Now I
winded
have to
up.
think. There's 32 teams, and now I have to remember which ones are Belgian and which ones have players from it and not. And
Who are you forgetting?
Guard.
there's the 3 Peters.
Yeah, there's no extra Peter on the
There's
ice.
there's Mats.
There's Mats, yeah.
Tom.
And then there is...
Why am I?
Ja,
Are you forgetting, John?
That's a very good question.
Oh, oké.
Do you want a hint?
I would like a hint. Yes.
He is playing in League C.
That's
That narrows it down,
that's
right?
not well.
Well, it narrows it down.
Now I have to remember who's in C.
Ja, wellicht. Daarom dacht ik, dat wil ik
It
weg.
takes away 3 divisions, narrows it
Yeah.
down to 8 teams instead of 32, so that should help.
But it's nobody on Team 2800.
Eh,
It's nobody on the Belgian Cubs. It's not on College Boys. Not on Wipe My Ass. And that's all the Belgian teams in League C.
Oh, then I'm wrong. Then
Maar ik dacht van
League B.
voorlezen.
Yeah. I thought they played in League C. No, they were in League C.
It's a terrible hint. Okay, so now I'm going to try to find where League B, who's in League B, and there's 2 pools.
Ja.
I need another hint.
Another hint. Let me think. One of the former team members of the team he's playing in right now is playing on the ice tonight. So they missed each other.
Ja, maar...
You know what I was getting at? So the team, the last person of that school joined. They had a player in that team that left the team and is now on the ice tonight.
Dat is fijn.
No, there's not a whole lot of Belgium teams on the ice tonight, so that should really help you narrow down.
Force get 2, force get 2. Yeah, force is good.
Not in beglading.
No.
So the only other Belgian team is Sweet Child of Mine.
Yeah, but maybe I misexplained it. So the person from that school went to a new team, the team we're looking for.
Yeah.
That team had a player that left that team, and that player is now on the ice tonight. So
Okay, Martin. Who's playing with Martin's old team? Ramstein?
Ramstein is indeed the team. So a player from that school transferred to Ramstein.
They play the guard, right? They play the guard.
They have like 18 people on that team.
Did they then keep?
Starts to smell
See
like
them
bacon in
for-
here.
Yeah, my brain is cooking trying to figure this one out. Gets it a bit on the outside, just moves it through, so opens up that guard, opens up the middle there.
I think I'll
Is it
just
me?
give the answer.
Give me a
they've
second.
got-
Give me 1 more minute.
They've got
and then
that.
2 more stones, and then I'll
Alright.
then I'll concede.
I'll give
Either
you
we
another
block
hint
that-
that should help you out. BB.
I don't mind just finding there.
Silence.
No, that doesn't help. But I'm probably gonna kick myself as
Or-
soon as you say it.
I think that's
If
a
we
very
tick
helpful
this,
hint, to be
That
honest.
shot's off. And if we make that, we're sat. That's all we need. We just need to tap this so it's frozen. So they
You'll
can't
just
fuck
Well,
up.
now I'm
over every-
watching. I'm watching
Okay.
their
So
strategy
that-
here. I've actually
So
decided
if
that.
we just nudge
Well,
this here,
not decided,
that
but
shot's gone.
the I want to see what these guys are looking at here.
Yeah.
They've got some options trying to move something back. They're not sitting shot, so
yeah, we just need just inside of this.
just inside of the red of the nose to tap onto their own red. I don't think it's a big disaster if this one catches that yellow
You right?
and opens things up, because then it'll leave an opening for them to tap their red back.
I think we're tapping back.
And now he's looking at the
That
screen.
front one. Just to nudge
That's
us
not allowed.
Here. All right, boys.
inside
No
of
cheating.
the zone. See, if that.
It's
So we
okay
don't
for
hit
them
the
to
other.
come and look at it for for a replay if they
Yeah.
made a
Yeah.
shot, but you're not allowed to use that. Well,
Like,
actually, that's
point
not
it-
true because if they have the thing up in the,
Yeah, that's true.
it'd be like having another mirror up on the other end or a screen showing what's going on in the other house.
It can be
So
heavy.
Yeah.
Yes, try. Whoa, 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 whoa.
we're not allowed to like rewind videos for them to look at, but this one is a bit on the wider side. That's going to catch the outside part of the red, but taps over the yellow. And now how are they sitting?
Yeah.
Didn't tap that red one enough to get the
Just a bit
shot.
wide.
Still sitting second. Yeah, just a bit on the wide side.
And it's a hard house here.
Nee, maar
It's going to be
Ja, toch
difficult for
wel.
Steensnoepers to score
Yeah.
multiples on this unless they kind of clear out those reds.
Kijk, punt.
You know, come in here, try to move these
Ah, ik voel
around.
dat-
That could leave a pretty good spot for them.
Ja,
The stripes didn't appear on the
ja,
on the
Oh.
screen, so
ja.
then
En
we'll
met
try
de
that.
kans dat hij deze...
So if they come there, no, they didn't. What's going on with
Ja,
my
en dan- maar dan
telestrator?
doe je er niks.
Oh, I know
Dan doe je er
why.
niks. Dan hebben ze zijn open. Zo. Dan kan je het beter daarvoor leggen.
I am going to get the telestrator up so I can draw this, but it's probably going to be too late.
Ja. Ja, maar dat
well,
kan
they're
hier-
still figuring out
Ja.
what to do here.
Kijk, dan hier ijs. Volgens mij mag ik. Ja. 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 Ja.
There we go. So now I can look at this.
Yeah.
We can bring this. They're going to... I would come in here, hit these reds, move them out. Yellow probably sits somewhere in there. Bob's your uncle. Or he's my uncle.
Right, let's see if Wouter can pull
we zien-
this
We
off.
zien nog een optie om laten steken buiten. Maar als wij deze niet dicht leggen, dan zijn we gewoon zo'n steken.
Is he quiet to me, or is he just quiet in general? Kick.
Might be a little quiet. Maybe the microphone's not pointing his way. We can also bring him up just a little bit.
Ja, kom maar een klein beetje. Oh.
It's coming in.
Veel te...
Going to tuck in. They don't want it to touch. Ooh, that was scary because of that any little tap on that
Dit
red,
hard.
I think
Sorry.
I think that makes it a shot, but
No, we don't. We never knock it. I'm just worried if they've got a shot to move.
2 more stones.
Coming in
and,
here, I think would get them.
Yeah, just Team Gillard. They have an option to just
there
give their redstone a small bump.
yeah, but you heard Ben say he's worried that would
I've
it
got
give
nothing.
Steensnoepers an opportunity to
No.
tap it
We
themselves
can't,
and
but-
run it out. So
Yeah.
they're up 6-1. They don't need to steal. They don't need to do this. I think right now
I
it's a
have
good
no
position to score
guard it
force
up.
to 4. I'd guard
Yeah.
it up, yeah.
They have the 5-point lead. All they need to do is make sure the Steensnoepers can't make a comeback in this
Any
game.
ideas? Any ideas?
Bueller.
No.
I mean, that's just a me.
Could do.
That's an
We just whack another one in there.
old American movie. Maybe somebody would get it, but probably not. It's about
What? No, just drawing in onto the yellow. Freeze the yellow, yeah.
freeze. Okay.
Yeah, I don't have any shot ideas, so I'm just... What? Less. 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 There you go.
Yeah, I
Less.
think this is where the
Less. Yeah, that's fine.
I don't want to say inexperience. Yeah, inexperience is the correct word. That they don't have that like Hey, let's just give them one. We're up by 5. Why? And take the. Let's give them one. Take the hammer back. They don't need to really get in there and try to score and steal.
Get ready, Troy. Get ready, Troy. Not yet, not yet. Yes, Troy, yes. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Yeah, go for it. Nice.
Works. Your shot for sure.
That works out really well for them, yes. And is there...
En dan moet hij eruit, hè?
There is a possibility. I think...
Ja, kunnen we gewoon...
but it's going to be
Kijk, als we
very
dit
tricky.
spelen, dan heb
They've
je ook de kans
gotta...
dat hij deze raakt. Dan moet hij... Zo.
They've got to hit
Zo,
this
zo,
yellow,
zo,
but they
daar,
can't
daar.
touch this red. This red here.
Of dat hij
That
hierop
one's... Move this, get that moving there. They can score 3.
Ja, Oké, risk versus reward. Hoeveel kans vinden we? Hebben we...
Risk versus reward.
Yeah, I think it's worth it. If you're down by 5, you
Yeah, they
might
have
as
to
well.
try it. I mean, if you can hit the yellow one, red goes out. You score 3, or yeah, at least 2, maybe
Ja,
3.
dan hier
Right.
Yeah, really.
They're-
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
they're down to the
Maar
situation where
het
they
kan ook
kind of
zijn dat
have
er
to
heel
try
veel-
it. They cannot just settle
Ja,
for allowing Gillard
Ja.
to steal one here, basically.
nu hebben ze 1, ja.
And for all you viewers out there, this is the last stone before the poll closes. So get your votes in now. At the completion of this end, close the poll, and we're gonna see who was right.
Het was niet eens
Right
op
now,
punten,
Steensnoepers will hold 60% of the vote.
niet
Somebody
eens op
voting
punten,
for a
deze.
tie, and Team Gillard with 30%.
Ah,
Team Gillard supporters are looking pretty strong right now, but still anything can happen.
And Wouter pull this off. That would be an amazing shot to bring the Steensnoepers
Oh.
back into the game.
dan moet curlen.
Needs a
Needs-
little of curl.
Yeah.
Ja.
Feels good. Feels good to me.
Really good, yeah.
Nee!
No,
Ah.
but oh
What
no.
happened? Did they did not see the line in time to
They
straight? Or?
yeah, I think they let it go, and unfortunate that catches over. So
Yeah, was well executed with a bit of sweeping. I think they might have just pulled it off, and then he will be rewatching this and figure out where it went wrong. I mean, it felt good to me at some point, but guess it picked up quite amount of curl in the last couple of meters.
Yep.
Decent attempt here, can be met. And to come back to that final question, I don't know if you are
I am
conceding.
I am conceding. I hadn't honestly been thinking about this, got pretty excited, but
Yeah.
the BB didn't help either. So
The BB or the initial of the player.
I got that
Yeah.
part, but I'm drawing a blank.
The name of the player is one final attempt. I'm gonna.
The
announce
only
it.
BB I know is Benjamin Binnard, but I know he didn't start with
No.
Daddy's Cool, so
No.
that's the only one that's coming to mind.
Yeah, and as soon as you have that name in your head, so that doesn't help you. It's Bert Boven.
Bert, yes, dang it.
Yes.
Yep, that's yep.
And a formal excuse.
A formal
from,
apology from me to Bert. I see him quite regularly at the club, so this is my fault for dropping the ball on that.
So to recap, Daddy's Cool is split up. Mats joining Brewers Ducks, Tom joining Team Verreken. The 3 Peters, they formed a new team, Sweep, Charlemagne, and Bert Boven, he joined Ramstein. So that's at least a good thing. The team fell apart, but the players stayed playing.
Yep. And to be honest, I could only get two current members of Ramstein to come to mind, Adrian and Thomas. And I know there's more, and I can see faces now, but before you put me under pressure,
Oh, here
and
komen.
sometimes I draw a blank.
Yeah.
Voor het huis, hè?
So that's it. The poll is officially closed. Good
Thank
luck
you.
to everybody who voted. For those of you who didn't, why not? It's fun. Let it ride. But we're happy to have you watching. If you are just tuning in and just chilling on your couch or wherever you're watching us from, we like having you here and we enjoy your company. And you hope you enjoy ours too. We're bringing in his second stone of the end. This one feels wide. Are they going to tap that yellow one into the house? It looks like. Yeah, I think it's not going to curl over enough. Well, it does catch off a little bit. Does move yellow over.
That worked.
That worked really well for them, actually. That came up quite nice. Now, whether or not that was what the call was is irrelevant at this point because they've got a good position.
And I guess, again, a deja vu where they have a more or less corner guard and then opt to draw to the center. I think the setup from Team Gillard kind of scares them. They want to make sure at least they can claim the pin. And are we going to have an 8-ender here? First question.
Ja, ho. Alleen naast hem.
Not touching the center line, so
Can tap this one. Wanting to come around, unfortunately, just a little bit tight off the release. And I am just now seeing that the chat had not refreshed for us. So people were making comments. We didn't see you. We weren't trying to ignore you, Norma. We just didn't see the comments. Trish is now Norma. Good to see you again. We're sorry we left you out there. We had an internet outage and we didn't get the messages until just now. We're glad to have you here, Norma. And now I need to change back to something, and now I can see all of the messages, and now we're back up. So gets rid of the yellow. Red stays sitting in the back there. And we are... Oh, I'm one set of stones behind. There we go. Nope, not Fred. One stone behind, not one set. Renata with her first stone here in the 6th end. And so, Norma, why the change?
Lijn is goed.
Name change. You don't have to answer it if you don't want to. Just curious. This one heavy. That one's going to slide through. Ben not even following that one off. Is this a championship? A Spanish team and an English team are playing tonight. Yes. Well, in the Belgian League, we have teams from 8 different countries. We have tonight, just on the ice, we have Romania, Belgium, Germany, England, and Belgium again. So
and the Netherlands.
And the Netherlands, yes. It's Belgium light.
I don't think they consider themselves as Belgian light.
No. That's just me stirring stuff
I know.
up.
I mean,
Done this one.
that's
Keep going,
if you're
keep
a true
going,
Belgian,
Keep going.
you have to taunt the Dutchies. That's,
Yes. Well, by you calling them
mandatory.
Dutchies, I think is taunting enough, isn't it?
Yeah.
That is not necessarily a term of endearment. not a terrible word. It's not a bad word or slang, but it's just a yeah. I've never heard a Dutch person refer to themselves as a Dutchie. But Norma, this is our So this is League C. We have 3 divisions, A, B, and C. There are 2 pools, 2 groups in the B division. 32 teams in total. 8 different countries represented.
Ja. Ja, lijn. Ja, lijn. Ja. Ga door.
So our C division is the entry division. So if you join the league, you start here. This one trying to get around behind. That's going to be just tight. Gets behind that one guard, but not enough weight to get in there. Well, they travel on the left-hand side. No, they drive down. Tilburg's about an hour and a half from here.
Yeah, something like that.
So they often just drive down. It's easy for them. The Romanian team often flies out, plays a few matches for the weekend, and then flies back. So
Yeah, and that's the cool thing with the Romanian team and the Spanish team. We have actual teams
Whoa,
just
whoa, whoa, whoa.
flying over here.
Yes, yes, yes.
And I
Alright,
think the English,
Line's
they
fine, line's fine.
use
Troy
the
Stone, Troy Stone.
channel train connection. They
I
use they
think
come
so.
by car.
Yep. This one slides by the red guard, but is that going to be heavy? See some sweeping out the back, and honestly, that's the wrong end. I believe we have a final over on sheet C. Beglading did score 1 in the 5th. They have not put up the 6th end score, but I think it got to a little bit away from, or a lot away from Beglading, so they probably opted to shake hands.
Makes sense if you look at the scoreboards.
This one over curling, a little bit light as well, so just going to kind of go off to the side. I think that's been sort of the
Top
Yeah,
8,
the story
top
of the
12.
game here for Steensnoepers, not really been able to find a good setup, and then halfway each ends they're kind of looking at a situation that's not looking very favorable to them, and having to try and fix things.
Yeah, and if things aren't going well in your setup, it makes it extremely difficult for the back end to get things done.
Line's
There's
good.
no straightforward, let's just add another guard, let's just do an open takeout. You always have to try
Once
and
it's over,
execute
leave it.
on
Once it's
harder
over,
stones.
leave it. As long as it's over, leave it.
And Team Gillard,
That's
they've
good.
been playing very solid, very few mistakes. Just getting stones over where they need it. This one
Nice.
maybe a little bit over curled, but still puts more rubble in the front. And the way they're sitting right now, they don't need to worry about anything. They've got three stones in the house. Yellow has 0, so they've made it very difficult for yellow to get anything in there.
Nou, voordat je daar voorbij bent.
Gonna have to come from the outside, which they haven't done. Neither team has really come out that way very much, so it's gonna be a kind of a guess. What's the right line? What's the right speed? Yes, Norma, these kids are good. I've said it several times tonight. I'm impressed with their poise on the ice, their communication with each other. Yeah, really overall, I like their game. And I'm not just saying that because I chose them tonight.
Yeah!
I think we've only seen one stone come out this wide, and this one that was hogged because there's so much pebble still out there.
He just light again this one. I don't think it'll get into the house. Might even tap the guards. not even tapping the guards. Yeah,
Gets over the hog line, gets into play, but doesn't change anything.
a lot of stones in play, but they don't really help
No, we draw.
the
Seems like run
Steensnoepers
back.
a lot. And
No, we're drawing.
Team Gillard's setting 3 in the house.
No, we're just drawing.
Norma asking if I'm sure I'm not jealous.
I'm
Well,
absolutely freezing, by the way.
a little bit. I mean, they've got their whole
freezing.
lives ahead of them. I've got like
Shaking.
I'm limited
less.
my years left. They've got amazing
Just
things
inside
that their future,
Just
my
inside
future
8.
is in my past.
Yeah. Top 4. No.
I'm pretty sure they don't hurt themselves just getting out of bed, just waking up in the morning. Also a little tight, little light. This is just going to add some more stones into the middle.
Yeah.
Maybe get a roll out, cover right
That's a better
left of that path.
Ja, dan moeten we...
I think really Steensnoepers' only option is to come around again, try that same
Yeah,
one
but let's
around, but just they gotta throw
Yeah,
more
okay,
weight at
so-
it. They have
Yeah.
that red backing there, although that doesn't help them. It's not.
Yeah, it doesn't really
It's
help
too
them.
deep, but
Shotstone
Ja,
is
dan kom
sitting
je niet
pretty
meer.
nice in the back eight
Ligt
there.
er nu echt veel te veel. Ja. Hey. Nee, ik weet het echt niet.
Yeah, they're looking at ways to come in. I mean, it's so hard over on the
Yeah.
right side here to find enough curl
Dus,
to get to the forefoot, and over on the other side,
ja.
I don't know how
Ja,
big the
denk
gap is between those red guards, but it's also
Ja,
not that
buitenom
much.
gaat niet. Dan ligt die twee liggen er al voor. Hij kult al te veel naar binnen.
They
Ja,
are allowed to take out
Ja,
guards. I
dat
hope
is
they,
goed,
they still remember that
Dan is
it's
die
not
echt-
because the guards
ja,
are
dat
out
is
there,
net in het
they
zwart
are
liggen. Ja, dat-
untouchable.
yeah, exactly. Yeah,
if
they,
you have 2 more stones, if you find the guards extremely annoying, well, how about
move it. Yeah, yeah. Really, just take away that one red, and
Yeah, if you
it
take away that
changes-
one reds, then you force the other team to do something. But at least you create an
Yeah.
opportunity.
Yeah. This
Maybe.
one, real away. They gotta just clear that one out somewhere,
Goed
some way, somehow. Yes, we do play with the 5 rock rule, but that's well past. It only counts for the first 5 stones of an end. So with
Ja, ja.
13 stones already in play,
Oh, 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 oh.
it's just gonna sneak.
Ah, nee.
Nope, that's better than you think it is,
Yeah, that was
Walter.
like-
It's not what he wanted. They wanted to get it around that, and that would have been an amazing shot, but likely their shooter would not have stayed.
They're opting for a guard here, so I have to cross your fingers. They missed the guard, but
Yeah, I mean that's
Freezing.
all really that Steensnoepers could have done in that point was get rid of that guard,
I want-
force them to put
if-
it back because, well, if they put it there, it makes it tough.
If this one needs sweeping,
if
give
it's
me a yell.
open, then there you go.
I'll be
So sometimes you can only play the shots that you're given and not the shots that you want.
Fred, let me in. Let me in, I'm cold. Let me in, Fred. Let me in.
Red move.
Yeah, yeah.
This one
Curl it, Fred.
feels a bit wide. They're starting to curl it over.
Yeah.
Even a little chip on that red will be
It's
okay.
fine.
Oh, look
Oh,
at
it's
that nice
fine.
little dip there,
Very
and
fast,
settles in.
I wanna
That's
sweep.
it's a great shot.
yeah, there is not really a gap there. Whew, how do you deal with this? I mean, so closed up in front.
Yeah, and I just noticed that when Walter chipped off that red, it ended up here. And so it takes away that draw. I thought it actually got further away, but
Yeah.
it takes away that draw. So he actually handcuffed himself a little bit. And there
Is
is
there like a circus shot coming yellow on red and finding that weird corner?
like here, like that.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just looking
Ah,
at
kom je ook.
theoretical options here
Yeah, there's
because it's so closed. You have to run something in, and then if you have to run something in, well,
yeah, you have
Daar.
this yellow, or you have this one.
Yeah.
You know, either one coming in off this, but they both of them would have to play off that red out there to get
Ja.
over.
yeah. I
But
don't really
what
see
other
another
options do you have?
Yeah.
The other two are locked in.
Kijk,
It's
als
impossible to
zoiets
make a
is-
draw to the forefoot, so you have to kind of figure out a way.
But they also, well, I want to kind of say, yeah, they could look for damage control, but this late
Yeah.
in the
I
game
know.
and down by 6, damage control doesn't do them any good. Well,
Damage is already there.
Yeah.
and it's
they just have to get full
Ja, maar hoe dan wel?
into
Zeg het dan.
into the house,
how
but
do
that
you
doesn't.
score? You can't. I
You
mean,
can't score that way.
I think
Ik weet het niet.
they're probably shaking hands anyway. So, like, if you come around and you allow Team
hoe-
Gillard to
hoe
steal,
deze
it's
dan?
8-1. You're shaking hands.
Yeah.
There's no type
Nee.
of damage control, so you just have to throw a
daarom.
circus shot
Deze er ook
to
niet.
score 1, and then it's
Die
still
liggen
7
allemaal
to 2, and then you'll still ask the question: Are we conceding? Yes or no?
Yeah.
But you might end up having the shot of the match.
We get
become,
content
internet
here,
famous.
highlight reel stuff. That's what I'm rooting for in this one right now.
Later. Dan zo. Kijk of we hem in het witte kunnen krijgen.
Right.
I don't see anything out over there.
Yeah, they're trying to just draw in the 8 foot. But what's the gain from getting it into 8 foot rather than damage control, quote unquote?
Als je het hard zeker ook.
This one feels kind of heavy.
Feels like a steal
Yeah,
of
start.
3 here.
And
Ah.
maybe I'll mute the microphone so there's no accidental swear jars.
And yeah, 10-1, 2 more ends. And I wouldn't want to actually say mission impossible because mathematically there is always the off chance, but as a steal of 3 is so big, then if you look at the last 3 ends, it's a steal of 2, a steal of 1, a steal of 3. How confident do you feel scoring 9 points in 2 ends right now?
Yeah, just
all of
to
this?
tie. Yeah, just to tie. You need 10 to win.
Yeah.
But maybe they're hoping that they can draw the match out where it gets past the boys' bedtime, and then they have to forfeit because they're not allowed to continue.
Yeah, all of a sudden you have one of the moms of the boys come in. Hey, I told you guys.
Yeah. It's way past your bedtime.
But
Get out
Mom.
there.
But no, we're going to have
Yeah.
some extra curling.
Yeah, Norma's suggesting a 9-ender, taking a rock from another sheet. That's, hey, I don't know. With the cameras, it might be pretty difficult to do. I mean, I'd like to see that kind of sleight of hand, but you never know. There's a possibility.
All the way.
Our scoreboard
All the
only
way.
allows counting up to 8, though, so...
All the way. What part of fast is good?
Yep.
Roy?
Young
Think
Ben
it's
has
good,
the skips attitude already down.
What did he say?
He said, "What part of fast is good?" He wanted it. He didn't want to leave a guard. Yeah, it's just one of those. Got to remind the leads to throw it through the house. It's okay, you know.
Ja. Ja. Move by the guard.
Eric's saying the boys are good sports. I'd be
Yeah,
throwing
yeah,
through the
of
house
course,
if I were
sure.
them. I think that's what Ben wanted. I think he wanted something at least in the house and not leaving a guard. And
Good.
sees that stone crashes on that high guard. And that's just sort of been the theme for
This kind of way.
Steensnoepers tonight. Just not kind of...
Ideally, we tick. But, like, coming in the house is fine.
Yeah.
Aim for a draw, and if we get that, it's better.
Looking for a tick. Interesting. I mean...
If you have to practice these kind of stones in a game, this is
This is the situation to do it in, yep.
Yes. All the way. Yes.
And the sweepers are also in adult form, not listening to the skip telling them to sweep.
It's something.
It's a tick.
I think it's-
Technically correct is the best kind of correct, right? I so want to unmute Ben's microphone there, but
yeah. Could be fun. Although I think indeed they're probably being very friendly to each other, but
Yeah. Oh, this one's hard, and it goes through.
Next one, okay.
Ja.
Next one, yeah. So Ben was just confirming, were they allowed to hit? No, not yet. I don't think that was intended to be a hit, but I think Just a bit of a cross up there from the thrower.
Heavy's better. Heavy is better.
He's being very polite about trying to get this to bring it into the house, but
No.
this one's
Let it
going to
sit.
curl. Gets past the guard, comes into the house, and sits right there.
Yeah.
Top of the button. Good stone. Something
Tegenaan.
for Renata to go at. Little tap and roll wouldn't be out of place here.
Interesting update on Shide so far.
Yeah, we'll have to get to that in a moment.
Oh.
Wilder calling the sweepers off. This one feels
Oh, helemaal niks.
needs to curl over just a little bit.
Helemaal niks.
There it goes. Going to land right there on the nose. Little tap back. Now, there is enough of a gap, though, they can go for this, get it away.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they did want that a little bit
Would you
lighter.
rather pick or just...
Is there a pick? Is there enough space
yeah.
to... Oh, yeah, plenty of space
don't
to kind
mind
of pick
peeling
that
the
out,
guard
so... Yep.
Steensnoepers, they need to win this end in order to be entitled to
Yes, try.
start the last one.
Whoa.
For those of you new to the sport of curling, as soon as you are mathematically unable to even tie the match, the match ends, whether you want it to or not.
What a great takeout. I mean, very subtle, but yellow's out. They're all behind the guards. They keep their second wrist stone in play, so
Yep.
very, very, very nice stone.
I'm really enjoying watching Team Gillard play tonight. They have played a solid match, well beyond their years.
Oh.
Yes, Norma, they really are, and it's been a joy to watch these guys. Hopefully we'll get to see them more, but this one catches the red, moves it out the back, but shooter is going to fly away, and that red digs in and stays back there, so...
Yeah, and if that red one is sticking around behind those two guards there, might end up being the stone that seals the end once more.
But you were doing better shots. I was saying that, you know, these guys play in south of England, and they just reopened their curling hall there, so I wonder if they will be coming back to the league here. I hope so.
Yeah, and if not, I'm curious whether they will have tournaments out there.
Ooh, this one slides through, unfortunately.
Just want to keep it open.
A rare miss here from Team Gillard. But I think they can afford it by now.
Yep, at this point, they're looking pretty good. Got that update over on sheet A. It's a tight one. Sweep Child of Mine scored 3 to get back into it, so they sit 1 behind Kek Coln in the 7th end. Detroit Napoca, Handshakes after 6. They did not post the final end, so we don't know the exact score, but they were up 8-1 going into that 6th end, so I feel like they probably scored a couple there.
Start.
Good line, just feels a bit on the heavy side. How far is that going to go?
Net niet.
Oh, hashtag John's wrong. That one's looking pretty good, but it does carry behind the T line.
Yeah, might as well.
for some
That's
weight
right.
here.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa.
Calling him off. I think this
Yes,
one's going to be
yes.
okay. Gets it around the guard. Or got a sweep to get this one around. John is always wrong. Always, but often. Often is
No,
probably
I
more
didn't.
correct. Oh. Possible miscommunication there with what they were trying to do. I think the sweepers and the throwers thought one thing. The skip clearly had something else in his head.
Imagine if Steensnoepers only score 1, then they need a perfect 8-ender just to tie the game. That's also near impossible. Like, any chance of a good takeout and it's GG.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't.
They would need a lot of help to score an 8, because it would be a steal of 8.
Yeah, a steal of 8 is extremely hard.
New hashtag. That's a bit long, but John could be wrong, so take everything with a grain of salt, please. Okay. I mean, it's polite too, so. Honestly, I think I should just have the streamer bot kind of just post that in the post that message every so often in the chat. It's like John has occasionally been known to be wrong. A little bit of a tap. Doesn't push red into shot, so.
If not, we'll try that.
Honestly, I'm a little envious of Team Gillard in this situation. They don't have shot, they don't have hammer, but they have a 10-1 lead in the 7th end. That they get to try these. If they feel like trying something a little crazy, they can.
Draw what?
But they've been pretty sensible tonight about throwing stuff. So.
What? Where?
Yeah, and the yellow shot stone is still behind T-line, so if they can start promoting red stones in the house, there's always a chance that they catch the back red, the back yellow one, and all of a sudden they're stealing again.
Yep.
Can we draw in onto our red? From this side. You got nothing to lose, right? On the last shot. No, this side. Through the gap. Through the gap.
Wants to come through here and see if they can tap on that red.
Left side.
Yeah, he's right. They've got nothing to lose, other than opening it up a little bit and giving Steensnoepers another shot at putting something in there.
Whoa.
And if they open it up, they might have a shot at attacking the yellow stone as well.
Get straight. Friend knows best.
This one, unfortunately, just going to stay a little straight. Pops things open.
Yeah.
Yellowstone is exposed. Semi-exposed.
I feel like there's enough curl in the ice that they could move that red one out of the way, but
even they could put something in on the center line, top 8, and then follow up with a stone to get red out and maybe score 3.
Yeah,
or more.
Something about in here. Oops, wrong color. Something about in here, and then tap it through later. My telestrator skills are unmatched.
Down to skip stones right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, corner freeze would be pretty good. It's also a good option.
Yeah. Oh, alleen lengte.
First goal is to get this one around the yellow. He likes the line. There it goes.
Tik die rode naar buiten, tik die rode naar buiten.
It's a nice one. There it is. That's
Okay.
a good one. Moves it around. Sits above.
Weer 2.
Yeah, excellent stone there.
Sitting 2 at the moment.
What?
Is there
That
an
doesn't
option
work.
for Team Gillard to
Yeah.
maybe do a double
Well, we can't
takeout?
get inside to get both. What else have we got?
That's answering my question there.
We can't get that much.
No, we're asking. Corner freeze.
We can't
Rock
get that
doesn't have a
much of it.
corner. Yes, that is correct.
There's
But
nothing.
the term is called a
Don't worry
corner
about-
freeze when you don't do it
Yeah.
right on top, but onto the side. That's how I was taught. Not that I'm like the
What?
quintessential,
Hardly there.
the Bible, the authority on
Hardly there, but
curling terms. I make stuff up as I
Not
go.
we'll go for it. Go double, yeah. Double. It'll jam. I know it'll jam.
Sometimes I wonder that too,
Way
Norma.
less.
Sometimes I wonder
Way
if I do
less.
know how to play curling.
We're going full weight. Full. End on a high. Yes! Hard! Hard!
Straight into the yelling. This one's tight. He can have a giggle about it. Oh, catches the red and moves it over.
By opening up a
Okay.
little bit of the left end
Cover.
here, does that create
Well, thank you very much.
opportunities? Don't really think so. Although there is a run back, red onto the two
Thank you,
yellows on the center line now.
Oh,
Eric's saying this is where you try the double to be wide and give yellow a draw for 4.
this is-
Tap back for 4.
hier. Was hier. Ja, toch? Ja.
Yeah.
Hetzelfde. Ja, zo.
Didn't quite work out that way. There's possibility.
Yeah, so if you draw and then do the tap back on the left side as your last stone. for four.
Yeah. That's pretty much their
Then
best
happen.
option to score multiples. So Pim's drawing
Yeah.
on his screen, realizing that nobody can see
Veel
his. So
makkelijker
come
niet.
on this to that to go through. Could sit 4.
Ja,
Ja.
die ja,
That could work.
deze hoek is echt heel moeilijk.
I mean, it's
Ja.
the last stone. They have to do it, to be honest.
Ja.
It's an
I honestly think that's their best shot. That's their
Yeah.
only shot.
now if they pull it off, score 4. It's still a 5-point gap, but did
I
Team
think
Gillard give Steensnoepers a bit too much wiggle room, or were you just having fun knowing there's no way
te
we're
hard,
gonna
hè?
lose this game
Maar hij
anymore?
moet wel een beetje hard. Rood moet wel...
I think. Yeah, maybe if I'm Team Gillard, I approach this end and just do everything through and take outs and
Get it over with. Make sure you don't spend 20
Yeah.
minutes basically doing
because I mean
random stuff.
they were trying stuff out. They were they're in the game situation where they get to try things, but now maybe they're giving up a big house and get things back into it.
Laat die. Ja,
Needs to curl
ja.
a little bit more. Looks like it's got some good weight that gets the contact, and there it goes.
4.
That's
And
4, or
four.
do they need to measure?
it's 3 for sure. They're gonna have to measure, but that is definitely 3.
I'm looking at it.
4.
They can measure.
Yeah, you can see Renata really kind of claiming, no, it's 4, I'm sure. Team Gillard second guessing. All of the players standing on top of the stones. So hard for us to really... If you're really doubt, but you might as well measure.
Yeah.
4.
And
you
like, the
want-
question is, are they going to shake hands? Because if they are, then it doesn't really matter whether it's 4 or 5 and whether
Yeah,
you
they
have to
don't,
measure.
yeah.
But if you have the
There's
intent
both.
to maybe try it, well then the difference between 4 and 5 makes sense to double check. But 4
Yeah.
is on the board,
Okay.
so
They've given them 4, so
yeah.
Is dit onze shot of the match?
I think yeah, Renata saying, are we quitting right now? Are we going to just concede? Or do we just play one more end?
Eric saying thirds need to stand their ground, everyone else out of the house. Yeah, Eric, I agree with you. Far too often, everybody gets involved. They want to see, they want to have their opinion, but it really just needs to be the vice skips or the skips, who's ever in charge of the house. Usually it's the vices on that point deciding things, and they need to be the other ones talking.
Oh, I can see. I think I don't really know what Team Gillard is saying, but I could
It was
imagine they're
4.
saying because of this 4, we're stuck
was.
to another end.
Are we playing another end?
Yeah, they're gonna play it.
We're going to
Gonna
play
play it.
another end, yep. Mom's going to kill me. It's way past my bedtime.
Yeah. Yeah, they're really
I didn't
looking at the
expect that.
scoreboard there.
So, in a change from the rest of the match, Steensnoepers starting things off here. Suzette leading off the 8th end for Steensnoepers. A big 4 house there. Gets them in with shouting distance of this, so could be an aggressive play. Need to be setting up guards. Team Gillard maybe learned an important lesson there. It's like if you have a big lead,
And
play it smart, you know, get things out.
Normal saying, I'm
guard.
playing on my Nintendo DS before bedtime.
It's a guard.
Nostalgia, every kid's. I
You
mean,
c-
Nintendo
through-
DS, at least it had
through is
backlights.
better than a guard.
Back in my days,
Through
I
is
had
better than a
just
guard.
the Game Boy Classic with that thing I had to click
Heavy.
on to have extra lights, and then I had to steal batteries from all over the place in the house to make it work.
Heavy. Make sure it's in-house or through.
This one doesn't feel heavy or in the house. It actually feels like
Yes.
it's going to tap on the yellow.
All the way. That's a guard.
Yeah. Rubbing it
Keep going, keep going,
in
keep
your
going.
face. They don't need
We are now.
guards. And did yellow
Yeah,
tap into
any
the
shots
house?
from now on.
No. Wait, that was the wrong camera.
I don't think it's in the house.
No, not in the house.
Yeah, that's important. Just like imagine tapping it into the house, all of a sudden that yellow becomes maybe an annoying stone. Yeah, 5 points should be good enough to survive here. Steensnoepers needing 6 to win, 5 to tie.
Ja, ja, ja. Oh. Ah.
Well past the guards, but a little bit heavy. Ben's going to try to sweep this one through as far as he can. Gets it into the back 12.
Yeah. Barrier.
And that's all Team Gillard's going to do is
Barrier.
just go after it.
Yeah, just every yellow stone that's out of the house brings you closer to wrapping this up.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Archie, yes! Nice shot. That's fine.
There it goes, and even having their shooter roll out is fine. Don't want any backing there. Good throw, good sweep. But now as soon as, if I'm Team Gillard, as soon as Fred gets set to throw his stone, he should be throwing a hit.
Yeah, just throw
Just-
takeouts, take away your own guards, just make it as empty as possible.
Ja, ja. Ja, ja. Ja, ja.
Just gonna have the weight. I don't think so. It's and well, partially wrong. It did have the
What's
weight
that?
to get there, just not enough to get buried.
Immediately setting the broom,
Strike.
Yep.
You
launching
can get both here.
a bit of weight to get both
Full
out.
weight.
Full weight, there it is.
Archie! Archie! Hard!
Give you an update in just a
Whoa.
moment, Norma. This
Fine.
one kind of flying away, but still gets rid of the shot stone, so that is fine. Cologne scored 1 in the 7th, so they take a 2-shot lead over Sweep Child of Mine into the 8th. Sweep Child of Mine, though, will have the hammer. They are the red stones, so right now it looked like there was yellow in the house over there. So
yeah, yellow is sitting strong, so don't know how much stones are left to play, but looks like Köln is
Waar
close
is die?
to winning their game against
Ga je dan
Sweep
bewegen?
Child of Mine.
Ja, ja. Oh, 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 oh.
weight is okay, but just line is a little bit wide. Not going to get behind those guards, so
Suzette.
sweep Child of Mine. So
Anders ook
sweeping
even
as in like a
outside.
broom. But yes, we're lots of punny names here in the Belgian League around rocks and bands and musicians. We had Curl Jam for a while.
Ramstein.
Ramstein, yep.
Yes, Archie, Archie, Archie. All the way, Archie. All the way, Archie. All the way. Oh, nearly.
Another yellow out of play, so
Igor.
only 5 more yellow stones in play.
Yeah.
Which means we're very close to
It's
shaking
handshakes, yep. I wonder if they'll play it out no matter what. I wonder if they realize that they're supposed to stop immediately, but
Something tells me they're just gonna continue until the lights go out.
Ja, ja.
this one, unfortunately, light. We get some skip sweeping here, but not going to help it. Well, Briggs is guard, but
Possibly
says
final
nope.
stone here.
Well, Team Gillard is from the UK, so UK is an hour behind us. So it is only 10 o'clock there and not 11. So maybe that's they just didn't change their watches when they came over. Gets the peel,
That's it.
moves the yellow, red shoots all the way over to the side,
Yes, and there's
Game's
a GG. There's a GG.
and I believe
Yeah.
that will be the handshakes.
Yeah, makes sense. There was a bit of confusion, like, hey, why all of a sudden are we shaking hands in the middle of the end? Well, there is a good argument. We cannot win anymore.
Game's
You
over.
guys have it.
Yeah, it's done.
It's done. Confirmed by the skip of Team Gillard. And I think they are relieved that it's official right now.
Good game.
First points for the young English team. That I think this was their first game
nice.
in the league.
This is their first league match,
Or is
and
it second? I think it's first.
oh no, they played earlier. They
Really?
played earlier today. They lost,
Maybe it's
so.
not
Oh, got it. Yeah.
Second match of this weekend for them. They will be coming back in May to finish off their matches as well. But extremely strong showing here tonight.
I made myself up.
We can swap back over here and this guy.
Yeah, that was
Team
a
Red.
strong prediction there. I thought it would be more balanced, but they just kept going. They were impressive. If I have had the chance to see them play, I probably would have picked them, but too late for that. Captain hindsight is always right, but always late, of course. But yeah, I think great performance, well deserved.
Liz, you're quite welcome. I appreciate you watching. We appreciate having you in here. We loved having the lads on. They've shown they deserved the screen time. They played fantastic match. They should be proud of their performance tonight.
Yeah, what message do we want to leave for the Steensnoepers? I think maybe not their best game so far, but they still have a couple of games to play. And in League C, there's a wide range of talent and skill levels, so there's an opponent for every team there. I think I just recall their front end wasn't really able to find those good setups, and they were kind of chasing each end, trying to avoid big houses doing some damage control.
Yeah, exactly. Norma saying, "I will tell my kids these are oasis for Wonderwall." Okay, okay, they're not that. Yeah, okay, sure. Stevie, I see you. Thanks for popping in, giving it the wave. It's a friend of mine from Twitch.
Oh, got it. Yeah.
He pops in from time to time. Not a curling fan, but he likes to watch me talk about curling. So, but overall, I think it was a well-played match from Team Gillard. Steensnoepers, even if they were playing better, would have going to have their hands full with those lads. Really, really excited to see them, see what they do. The next stream, Norma, glad you asked. We are on tomorrow night at 8:30 p.m. Belgium time. The clocks go forward 1 hour tonight, so don't forget that. So, but it's not like you have to be up early in the morning. It's nighttime. So, same time we started tonight, but probably just feels like it's a little bit sooner tomorrow. We have the Romanian team, Detroit Napoca, going up against one of our other Dutch teams, Dunshrubkas. That's not going to be confusing at all after watching Steensnoepers tonight playing in the same jackets. So, yeah, we're looking forward to it. Hope to see you guys tomorrow. We enjoyed having you. Don't forget to click like on the stream. It helps us out a lot. Gets more eyes on the rebroadcasts later. If you're not already a subscriber, hit that subscribe button. You'll get notified when we go live and whenever we broadcast things. Buy a membership, get free preview access to some of our shots of the match before everybody else. It also helps us build the stream to make it better. I think that's enough pandering tonight. Oh, wait, one last thing. Don't forget, anybody interested in curling, wanting to play in a fun Bonspiel, the Curling Cup Tilburg, May 11th. Go to the website and sign up. With that, I'm going to say thank you and goodbye. Until next time.